Hello, Pastor Steve Waldron here today with a Bible review, the second edition Pitt Minion. This is a new typesetting of the Pitt Minion Bible. It's so popular. I think the reason it's popular is just because its size. It's a reference Bible in a very small size. I'm going to tell you, Cambridge right now is in their sweet spot as far as quality. They are making quality Bibles. Maybe it's our friends over at the Bible Design blog that have encouraged them into fine Bibles, or Allen Bibles, or evangelicalbibles.com, or maybe some combination of all that. But anyhow, this is Pitt Minion. Again, those of you that know or watch these videos, you know I like Cambridge boxes. I think, again, they're hitting major home runs with these clamshell boxes. Now, a secret in the industry is that the clamshell boxes, it's actually cheaper, it's less expensive to make these clamshell boxes than the two-piece box, but I like them a lot better than the two-piece box. So let's open this thing up. This is a brown split calf skin. Even the little warranty thing is small. I guess they make the warranty thing based on the size of the Bible. It tells you how to take care of your Bible. Now, split calf would be considered, as far as leathers, it would be considered, you'd have Moroccan, which is goat skin, then calf skin, and this would be mainly Cambridge and Allen Bibles. They don't do a lot with top grain and that kind of things. That's more of an American thing. And then split calf, which is the underneath of the calf skin, and then their imitation leather, which their imitation leather is fantastic. Now, it's not imitation leather of old. It is proprietary. It's fantastic. So let's take a look here in this Pitt Minion. I'm going to do a little size overview. This is my mid-size. It's a Cambridge large print, text only. It's got about 11-point print. You can see it is much smaller. Still the same Cambridge quality though. Now, I can't do the folding up. I think I'd mess things up there. But this is pebble grain, as most of their split calf is. It's a dark brown. In certain lighting, it looks almost black. You can see it's got the real good gold edging. Now, only the Moroccan has the arc gilt edging. Maybe the calf skin does as well, not the split calf. But it still has the good gold edging, Smith sewn. Going to have a great ribbon marker, as Cambridge does. And it's not going to be leather lined. So let's take a look at this. It's going to have the translators to the readers. But it's not, excuse me, the epistle dedicatory. I wish it had the translators to the reader. And it's fairly good readable print in that. Has a little presentation page in the front I didn't show. Now, you can see the difference between the updated or the second edition Pitt Minion is they've come up with the paragraph style. And now this would be more in line with the originals. As far as we know, nobody's got an original copy of Genesis running around, but they would not, verse numbering wasn't really used until the Middle Ages, after the 11th century for the Old Testament, and then in the 1500s for the New Testament, primarily, except for the book of Psalms. Psalms was numbered. And then Lamentations, you can go into that. Great, voluminous amount of center reference. Now, I think this print is 7-point print. It's either 6 or 7. It's very clear. Now, one difference between this, as best I can tell, this differs from the Cameo Bible in that the Cameo, being a reader's edition, a lot of times it will capitalize the first word in a verse, and then the subsequent verses in the paragraph, it will not capitalize the first word in the subsequent verses in the same paragraph. This one does the best I can. I haven't read this Bible through, but I've gone through it with certain texts. I'm like, hey, this still has capitalization, because in the King James version of the Bible, each verse begins with a capital letter primarily. So each verse begins with a capital letter. So you can see that it's just incredible size, good reading. Now you're going to need really good eyes to read this. Book of Psalms is going to be kind of in a poetic style. It is not in paragraph style, as you can see. They did it in another format. Job they did not do. So the poetic books are not in a paragraph style. They are in kind of a poetic style. So it's just easy to read like that. It's just for poetry and that type thing. The pages, you would think for such a small Bible, very little ghosting. There is some. It's not enough for me to notice. I would think it would be very difficult to write a lot of notes on this. We're going to look at the margins in just a few moments, but you can see how clear, how nice these center column references are. But then when you get back to Jeremiah, I mean, it's going to be paragraph format. And in your King James Bible, your regular 1769 Benjamin Blaney Second Folio Edition, you're going to have those little flags that break it into paragraphs anyhow. This is very difficult, like if you just take it to church, to find the verse, and it'd be hard to preach out of, I would guess, but just for reading Bible, really good. You can see it doesn't have much in the way of margins. We should have a little ruler out here measuring the margins, but I don't. Not much in the interior margin. I'm not positive if this is India paper or not. I know it's red letter. I was going to see if it said sewn binding enables the Bible to open flat. I don't see where it says if it's India paper or not. But anyhow, you can see that the Bible does in fact open flat, even in Genesis, which is very important for many people. People just really seem to enjoy, especially if you are teaching or preaching out of it. Now, I personally like this red letter. What I don't like is in this paragraph format, the red letter kind of runs together. You might say, well, that's an oxymoron. It's really not. This is a great red letter, and I think it would be tremendous in a verse format. But, red lettering came out in 1901. I remember somebody went and asked T. DeWitt Talmage about red lettering and said, do you think it'd be a good idea? He said, well, it couldn't hurt and it might help. So they came out with the first Bible in red letter. Now they've got the green letter Bible out, the blue letter Bible, all of this. Now, one thing I did want to show you is there is some highlighting in here. And there's some bleed through with the highlighting. Not a ton. But if you're going to highlight in here, I would go over to the Bible Design blog and get the perfect highlighter. He's got a couple. I remember G.T. Luscombe and Schwann and different ones used to have really good Bible highlighters. So here's like a highlighted page here, and just a little bit of bleed through. But if you've got good eyesight, great for reading. Now, another real plus for this Bible, in my opinion, I did want to say it does not have anything internally, like for the thought by thought, doesn't have thought headings, subheadings, and it doesn't have it up top either. Old or New Testament, it does not have that. But you can see the references are so voluminous, they have to go on many times. And it'll have alternate readings. I think some of these actually come from the very first edition of the King James in 1611. But one thing I really like is it has the Reader's Companion to the Bible. Now, it's a little liberal for my taste, but I'd rather have it than not have it. And it's got enough good information in it that you can really use it. It kind of doubles as a concordance. Now, one thing Cambridge does not do, for whatever reasons they don't want to do it, let me go back to the book of Revelation. You can see no red letter in Revelation where Jesus is speaking, behold, I come quickly, I'm the Alpha and Omega. They just don't do it. So, but it does have this great, 128 page or so Reader's Companion. And then it's just going to have the classic Bible maps in the back with the little gazetter map index. It's kind of color coded how to use the maps, and it's basically just E4. You find it, and it tells you what map that it's on based on the color code. Just going to check some on this map. Checked it before, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Like basically none of the 3 routes of the Exodus are going to take you through any water. That's not good. Maybe there was water there in the old, that's what they're thinking. I think more it's a liberal slant. That's what I'm thinking. But that's kind of an in thing to do. But it does have a lot of maps. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's what I thought. 16. Some pages to write in the back. And, man, just, couldn't get a better feeling Bible. I'm a big fan of Cambridge's split calf because it's less expensive, but it still gives you the quality of a genuine leather. And for carrying. But again, you better have good eyesight to read this thing. This is the Pitt Minion King James Version, 2nd edition. It comes in other translations, but of course, I get the King James. God bless you.